How's your Friday?
Not too bad. How's yours?
Much better now, yes.
All right, so I have your old one in here.
Okay.
So,
yeah, a lot of these.
we, but he was telling me, so basically what they do is they ship it built just like this, and then you take it off and they have marked each section, and then you basically unassemble it, put it on the car, assemble it, line it all up, and then build the pressure, and then close it down.
Yeah,
So that's kind of how those work. So I just wanted you to be aware of that when you
just
saw
a rough
it.
number with
It'll be about the same.
1,300 that replaces
Put new,
your whole exhaust system, all new and stuff. Besides the manifolds,
new
of
fluid
course,
in there for the transmission, which is
yeah.
a specialty
about 1,300,
Ford
we could
dual
probably find you
transmission
a
fluid.
decent job.
So
Get
I've
it
had a
all
hard
set up
time
and
saying that
everything.
today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I learned it's very pricey stuff. It's incredibly expensive.
ready
It's
for that,
amazing.
you
It's something that it's not something I usually stock. So for future knowledge for yourself, it's a specialty dual
Yeah, so
clutch
this isn't going to be
fluid that
super
goes in it,
loud
and that's
because it
what's
still
in it.
has that.
Okay.
The clutch did
Like
come
this
with a
guy
new
here,
clutch line, so we
It
put the
wouldn't
new
be
clutch
super
line on
loud,
it,
but
as
it'd
well
have,
as put new
make it
fluid in
have a
it.
lot nicer sound.
And blood
Plus,
system.
it still has a muffler,
great.
so it keeps lights in
Topped
a
off
little bit.
coolant and topped off your
But
brake
it's just better
fluid, so that's
for
all good.
So did it really show like where it was slipping, where the pads actually worn down, or?
So your clutch is actually worn down to the
Yeah, it
rivets.
just depends.
So it's about as far down as
Sometimes
it
these
can
are
go.
louder.
It was pretty worn down, and then
Sometimes
I think he's got this put back
It
together.
just
But when
depends,
you
'cause this is pushing
So is that the
more exhaust out like that.
back in the back, yes.
Oh, I thought the
Running
was like
what,
bigger than that.
8 cylinders? Yeah, an 8 cylinder.
So you won't be able to tell because this is kind of the back
Okay.
end to it. But this back piece, when you pull it off, I have pictures of
Okay.
before and after for
Okay,
you.
awesome.
So I can show you, I don't know why I thought that was a better idea than just showing you pictures, but in my head it worked out a lot better than it actually did. So I'll kind of show you. I have some and then I have some on the computer as well.
Sound nice and give you good sounds to it. So.
Let's see if I can get
You can send me a screenshot of that. Just so
Well, I'll
Yeah,
kind of show
I'll
you the
send you
process that I
both
did.
these.
Okay.
So this is their old one in there. I'm taking it off. So each step that he took off. So you can kind of see each disc
Yeah, I got it.
and where the springs are.
When I first
So we took those, and then that, all of those are basically what we call hot spots. So that's where it's been worn down over time
Yeah, if we just did something
and
simple like
gotten
that,
hot in those spots. So it
Okay.
definitely was tight. We would have definitely recommended a flywheel. So it worked out better this way than going the other way. So then you have the new parts. So you can kind of see the difference in those.
Okay.
So we did that, and then there's pictures of him putting the new one in there. Your transmission, from my understanding, you have a pretty new transmission,
It's like
right?
brand new.
That's what he said. He goes, "It's definitely new. You can tell because it's clean, it's
Nice.
shiny, it's all the things." So then that's just him Loctiting and kind of doing the process of each of the bolts for the flywheel.
Okay.
And then so I have a bunch of those for you, and then that's with the new one in it. And that's all of them trying to lift your
Oh, that's awesome.
lift some of the bigger parts into there. So, but yeah, it was definitely time for one. It definitely.
And I'm curious, you can't really see that from the side, can you? Like the wear down. So if when Ford took the transmission off, would they have been able to see, like if they looked on the side of the clutch, would they be able to see the wear?
Not necessarily
Okay.
if they didn't take this apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the
You
way
can
this
see
is
the clutch
encased.
disc.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
see them, but they don't know where it was when it was new to where the rivets are on the inside.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
could see.
So until you take it apart,
it's
you can't
It's
see.
about
Right.
It's a finger thickness. You're like, okay, I don't know if that's new or if that's.
Okay.
It was 2 finger thicknesses when we started.
Yeah, until you take it apart and see where the rivets are at and how much meat you have basically above the rivets. That's what kind of
It's
tells
not
you the
like
life
brakes
of
to
it.
where you can like look at the side of it and see how worn down
Right.
it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the clutch material, but you don't know actually where it's at, and
Yeah.
because there's rivets on the inside that tell you, okay, I have just a slight amount more. I can get another 3,000 miles out of it, and then I need to replace my clutch, or it's there to the rivets, I need to replace it, or it's like, oh, I got plenty of meat. You don't know that until you actually pull the clutch apart.
Okay.
Yeah, and it had some clutch material, which you can tell in some of that as he's pulling it off. Clutch material's coming off of it, so it was definitely worn. It was definitely the kit was a way better to go than the first option that
Right.
we looked at. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
just
definitely.
the service thing
Yes.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
Which it still would have been okay, but we would have still had to recommend a flywheel
Right.
because of the spots on it. it can cause.
Really, if you're just
We've
running
seen people not put them on there. The problem is then your clutch is new and your flywheel's not. Has a
It's not
lot
really
less life on
very
it.
good.
Exactly. You'll start getting a lot
we
of
get in there and
you'll get
notice,
shudder in
you
your
got
pedals, you'll
broken,
get shudder in the driving and
your
then all of that good
exhaust
stuff
leakage
too.
and stuff, like,
So
that's the
this
only
way
time
it's
we gotta
all
go
new,
through.
it'll mate
We
together
need to
perfectly
get new
and then
gaskets
it'll
and
have
put into this,
the
but
same lifespan throughout.
You're
usually
not
also.
trying to make
So
super high
So,
horsepower.
so with a dual disc, right?
yes.
Dual disc like this, should I be driving differently? I mean, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you take off, you know, I usually like normally take off slow, you know, and like at a light or whatever. Or is it better to, you know, pull the clutch out a little quicker to get the grip quicker?
With these, they like the quicker.
Yeah,
The
they
dual
like the
disc is
quicker.
much more for the quicker than the slower kind of stock ones that you're used to.
Okay.
These are much more meant for a little quicker off the line, a little quicker of a shift. They
Okay.
like that a little bit more because they grab so well
Right.
that they don't need to be held quite as long.
Okay.
So they tend to
6 feet.
prefer that, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people like these for quick shifting, racing, quick off the line. I mean, that's kind of more what it's built for. So it's definitely meant a little more for
Plus
that.
they hold a lot more power than a like
Yes.
factory stock clutch.
Mhm.
Right. And then as far as, you know, and I think I've talked to you over the phone on
Yep.
this, slowing down, you know, like coming off the interstate.
Yeah.
Is it like with downshifting, or should I just throw it in neutral?
It's
and
whatever you prefer. If you
Okay.
downshift it and stuff, yeah.
I
you're
mean,
gonna use your
obviously
clutch
sometimes
more.
I do try to rev match, you know, sometimes, but you don't always get that on daily driving.
Yeah.
So I just wondered what would prolong the clutch.
If
life.
you're trying to prolong it as long as you can, just pop it out of gear and use your brakes.
So is it cheaper to change brakes than it is?
And that's what I was just gonna say
Yeah.
is I'm one of those people, I pop in neutral a lot more than I downshift because
Okay.
that's how I was taught.
Okay.
If you ask everybody's got a different opinion on how they were taught and the best way to do it. But the one thing that I was always told is it is cheaper to replace your brakes than it is to replace your clutch.
That is.
Now granted, if I'm driving like road driving and I'm not gonna stop, I will generally shift myself to second, kind of slow myself down. But if I'm stopping quickly, I just throw it in neutral, personally. That's my opinion. That's how I've always kind of driven because for me, I have a harder time making sure I match myself and I don't feel like I necessarily shift exactly when I'm supposed to. And I'm more afraid of hurting my clutch and my transmission than getting a set of brakes done. So, I mean, it really just depends on your opinion, but everybody's taught a little bit differently. It's more your comfort level, but I have no problem dropping it into neutral and slowing down with my brakes.
Yeah, if you're coming off the interstate,
Yeah.
just pop it into neutral and slow down. If say you're coming up to this stoplight right here and it turns green and you're gonna turn, you can downshift to your second gear or
Right,
whatever
right.
to turn and stuff. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, it's just whatever you prefer. If you want to replace brakes or if you want to replace your clutch.
Gotcha. Okay.
And depending on your brakes, some people have very expensive brakes, so I mean, sometimes that's not a better option for that. You know, it really just depends on what you're using it for, and but I mean, these are meant to be.
They're meant to be pushed
Yes.
after the brake.
Yes.
Yes, after the brake.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's definitely a heavy, heavy duty clutch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Excited?
I am. So is
It
it,
does
does
help.
it feel about the same as what it did, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
It's the
personally.
same
only-
stiffness kind
Yeah,
of
so
thing?
the only thing you're gonna feel different is it might grab a little bit better,
Okay.
and you can get into your power better.
Okay.
Because before you're getting low on your padding, I guess you could say, for the clutch disc, and you would like, I don't know if you started to experience it, but you get it to the
A
higher
month ago.
higher RPMs, the RPMs would come up,
Yeah.
but you're not going any faster.
Yeah, and it was more when it first started out. It was more on the interstate, like fifth and sixth gear.
Yep.
I'd go to pass somebody, and it would go ooh, and I'm like, oh, something's happening.
Yeah, no, that's just the end of the life of the clutch.
Yeah.
Okay.
The clutch pedal should feel about the same as if you never did anything to the car, but you're going to be able to get going and driving down the interstate fifth gear, and you're like, oh, I'm going to pass this guy, and you should be able to, don't have to downshift or anything. You
Right.
should be able to stay where you're at and just continue on because you actually have all that meat to hold on to that clutch. This
Yeah.
time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're the one I talked to, right? You know me.
Yes.
The Black Forester.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Obviously better now.
Did you get, what was it, second fix? Second gear fix?
Yeah, it was actually Ford replaced the whole transmission.
Oh,
So even though that clutch fought him. It did. I won't lie to you. He was like, man, and you know, because you got to be precise on it, and he's trying to get everything all lined up, and it was fine. But then I could hear him down there, and he's like, I cannot get this thing to just. It was like fighting him about wanting to be in the exact right spot. He's like, if I don't get it exact on these twin discs, it causes problems. So you got to be like right on the money. So he took his time and was trying to get it, but it just did not love him for a little while. Once he got it, it was fine.
Right.
But it was just that middle part that he's like, I have to step away for a minute, and then I'll go back, and it'll be fine. So the stability axle seal that we did, it was leaking internally, but now with the new seal, it's not. So
Awesome.
It fixed a problem we didn't know was a problem.
Cool.
So that worked out good. It is a Ford seal. Ford is the only one who has those seals, just for your reference. That's a copy for you.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope it's as wonderful as you like it to be. Should, like you said, it should feel pretty much the same, except a little more bitey than
Right,
the other one
right.
at the end.
I'll probably kill it on the way out.
It's possible, yeah. A lot of times when we replace new clutches, it happens a lot because they're so used to it being worn out.
Right.
That you get a new one and you're like, oh, I forgot. Like, you forget how long you've been driving it the other way.
Right.
So.
Wow, that actually feels really way less stiff.
It is currently 12 degrees. Focus needs to warm up a little bit. Then we're gonna go to town. Yeah, the clutch is, I thought they said it was gonna feel the same, but it actually feels way looser than what I felt like it did before. So yeah, pushing in on it feels way looser. And when you pull out, it grabs in like one spot. There's no,
That's what she said.
No intermediate spot for it to grab. So yeah, it's definitely and then they told me it wants to be pulled out quickly. So
That's what she said.
Adjust my driving. Not using it to downshift on the off the interstate anymore. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. It is a little bit cold out today. Obviously, we got snow on the ground, as you can see out front here, and so we might do a little bit of playing. We'll have to see what it's like. Obviously, safe playing, but yeah, we gotta wait for this thing to warm up. Yes, I'm only out here in a hoodie, but you know what we got? We got heated steering wheel and heated seat. Well, we're at 84 degrees, but I think it's probably warming up. My coolant's at 125. My normal temperature that I've noticed is roughly about 180 for each. Once I do some pulls, then it gets up to 190, 200. But never had an overheating issue, so that's a good thing. But yeah, this clutch is definitely it feels looser, but it's probably obviously tighter. All right, we are going to get this guy recording on my co-pilot here, so you guys can be my co-pilot. Oh yeah, there you can see it already gripped, man. And it's, yeah. The shocks in the back are a little loose. No, that's not what I meant. You can tell the shocks in the back are a little cold. Hopefully you guys aren't bouncing too much over there. Feels good to be back in my car, man. Feels good. Yep, there it kills it. It's like driving clutch for the first time, man. Sometimes you gotta have some fun. Maybe we'll do sport mode. Yeah, try sport mode. It's crazy how you can tell the difference when the engine kicks into sport mode. Throttle response is a little quicker. Maybe that's what I need to not kill it. Yeah, that's like a one spot grip, man. cold out, but the roads don't seem that bad. I do have my snow tires on, and I really haven't had a chance to see how they work, because it either hasn't snowed quite right, or you know, the car's been having to slip in the clutch. So this brakes here. Oh yeah, we got a good grip there. Brakes. Love that auto start though. It like just starts right back up. Yeah, that thing wants to take off, man. It does not want to take off slow. Crackle. So much better. So much better. There's the silicone structure going to the Casper here. And yes, for the most part, I do obey the speed limit. It's just getting up to that speed limit they might question it. between the pins cars. Hearing that exhaust. Park on the line, dude. We've arrived at our destination. Snow mode, guys. I like it. car to go the speed limit. Chucks people leave off the cars, man. Alright, a little low here. That's why they call it drift mode. Totally get through the drifts. Oh, shoot, I should have got gas.
You big dummy!
Evo right there, man.